Hi guys, welcome back to Andre Drives. So today we're going to talk about some differences between the 2025 Limited RAV4 and the LE model RAV4. Your LE is going to be your base model and your Limited is going to be your high-end model. We're going to talk about some differences in tech, we're going to talk about some differences in options, and talk about some things that you're just not going to see on the LE model. So with that being said, let's dive right in. The Limited RAV4, you're going to have your power seat. So you have an 8-way adjustable. You're not going to find that on the LE model. You're also going to get your leather seats. So you have 3 options for your leather seats in your Limited. You only have 2 for the LE model. You're going to have your ash, which you see here. You have your black, and you have your nutmeg, which is going to be a beige. So if you have 2 drivers in the household, you can actually set this right here. So you're going to hit set, hit 1 or 2, depending on the height, once you set your seat. Now, it's only for the seat. It's not going to be for your steering wheel, because your steering wheel does not have a power adjustment. It's just this manual adjustment here, but it will adjust the seat. So on the Limited model also, you're going to have an option for a heated steering wheel. That's going to be with the weather package that you cannot get in the LE model. So you're also going to have a power gate. So that's another option that you're going to see on the Limited. But this is going to be standard on the Limited model. You're not going to have this option on the LE model. So you have your odometer. So your odometer is going to help you with your trip distance. So if you're using your vehicle for work purposes, that's going to help you keep up with your miles. Also on the Limited model, you're going to have an option for rain sensing wipers here. Because it has a weather package, you have your rain sensing wipers. You don't have that option on the LE model. So on the Limited model, you're going to have a push button start. That means you'll have a key fob here. So this is not going to be the case with the LE model. On the LE model, you're going to have a key. So in 2026, I'm sure that's going to change. Right now in the 2025 model, you have a physical key. So you're going to pop this button here, and it's going to pop that out. So no option for a power gate or anything like that, like you do on the Limited that is standard. So no option. Something else that you're going to see on the Limited model that you're not going to see on the LE, you're going to see a 10.5-inch display. Now this size display is going to be standard on the 2026 model. So a little bit different design here, but you will see a 10.5-inch display on the 2026 model. So you'll be getting more information, and you'll also have a update in software. So it'll look a little bit different from this right here. I personally cannot wait to review that and bring that to you guys. And also you'll see the rollout of Toyota Safety Sense 4.0. So you will see that as well. Now you're going to have your speakers on the A-pillars there. So that is standard in the Limited model. In the hybrid model on all RAV4s, you will have a dual zone AC/heat or climate control. In your gas model, you will not have that. And I'll show you the gas model, how that's going to look. So also an option that you're not going to see on the LE, you're not going to see an option for heated seats. Most dealerships have an option for heated seats. So they have a guy that they use either outside of the dealership or inside the dealership that can do upholstery, and they can add heated seats, but it is not a factory option. In the Limited model, you're going to not only have your heated seats, but you have your ventilated seats as well. Looking further into the options that you're not going to see on the LE that are not available, you're going to have a automatic dimming mirror with your home link. Now that's going to be standard on the Limited model. You're not going to have this option on the LE, although you can add a automatic dimming mirror with your home link. So that is an option that you can get on the LE model, but it is not standard. On the Limited, it's going to be standard. Another feature that you're going to see on the Limited model that you're not going to see on the LE, you're going to get a moonroof. So the moonroof is standard on the Limited model. That is a package on the XLE model, which is your next step up from the LE model, and that's available in a convenience package. But it starts to become standard once you go to the XLE Premium, which, by the way, is getting discontinued. For 2026, there will not be a XLE Premium trim. So enjoy that while you can, guys. Go to your local Toyota dealership and check out your XLE Premiums if you want that XLE Premium. But that is going away in 2026. Looking in the dash here, so this is a 12.3-inch MID screen here. That's something that you're not going to see on the LE model. So you see a lot of tech on the Limited model that you're just simply not going to get on the LE model. So it gives you access to different pieces of information. So if I want to flip through and try to find different pieces of information, I can. And by the way, both of these are gas models, guys. Now you have some of the same information on the LE model, but you don't have this 12.3-inch display that gives you this layout like in the Limited model. So you're just simply not going to see that. So if you want those power seats, you're going to get that on the passenger seat as well in the Limited model. On the LE model, it doesn't offer power seats at all. It is a manual adjustment seating. Now looking around here to the back, I mentioned before, a power back gate that is going to be standard. And on the tech package, you can actually get a kick sensor also, and that also adds your your forward-facing camera, your wireless charging, and you get your smart key on all doors. Now, if you look closer on the back, the Limited is going to have your sensors. So your parking sensors, those are also for your safety braking. So you're not going to have that option on the LE model. So if you want any of these options, guys, you're going to have to go to the XLE Premium at least, but you still have to get a tech package to get that. On the Limited, it's going to be standard. You're going to get a 19-inch wheel right here, LOA wheel on the Limited model. You're also going to get this look on the XLE Premium. Limited model does have your automatic lock and unlock. So that's something that you're going to see on the Limited model on the 2 front doors. So you're going to get your integrated turn signals. Blind spot monitoring is standard on the XLE model and up. And you also have your color key mirrors on the XLE model and up. So it is standard. This is what we're going to see on the LE model. You can get a color key side mirrors with your integrated turn signal and your blind spot monitoring, guys, but it is not standard. That's about a $600 option. So looking on the outside, you get your covers here. You get your steel wheels with your covers. Those are 17-inch wheels compared to your 19-inch wheels on the Limited model. So as I mentioned before, this one has your front accent lighting. So on your front accent lighting, it only illuminates right around here. So it's a little ring there. Gives you more accent than anything, hence the name front accent lighting. Limited model, you're gonna get your fog light housing. So totally different look, smaller, and you're gonna get your LED fog lights on the Limited model. So looking around the front on the LE model, looks pretty much the same. It's just this right here is a matte grille compared to more of a metallic gray like on the Limited model. So looking on the inside of the vehicle, so still have color key door handles. Looking on the inside, manual adjustment for your seats, as I mentioned before. You can still adjust it. So just pump up if you want to adjust it, or pump down to actually lower it. So you do have that. So no soft tech, so no soft touch material on the doors except for right here, but this is more of a vinyl. So more of a plain Jane here. So you don't see many options here except for your automatic high beam lights, which is part of your Toyota Safety Sense. So that's something that Limited and the LE share. Toyota Safety Sense 2.5. So in the Limited model, you saw that you have an automatic setting here. Now this one does not have any fog lights, so you'd have to turn that all the way on to actually activate your automatic high beam lights, okay? So as I mentioned before, you do not have a 12.3-inch display. You have an 8-inch cluster. So this is the information that you have access to here. So a little bit different look. Now you can change this from an analog to a digital. So let's change that for you. So go down to your vehicle settings. Go down here to your, actually not your vehicle settings, your settings. Go down here to meter type and digital. So it gives you that similar look, guys, but you do not have, as you can see, you do not have that additional information. The only thing you can do is go from side to side, and that gives you different pieces of information that you have access to, just like in the Limited model. However, like I said, you do not have a 12.3-inch display, so you don't have the access to the amount of information that you had on the Limited model. So on this model here, as I mentioned before, you don't have a dual zone. In your hybrid models, that's going to be standard, but this is a gas model. So you have your fan speed here, and you have your temperature control. And you also have this option right here, which you're not going to see in the Limited. So if you hit that, watch what happens. Ramps that fan up, and it's going to cool that vehicle down as fast as possible, right? So now you can change this, and that's going to knock that off. But once you hit this here, see that? It goes all the way down to the lowest setting, and now it's trying to cool that vehicle off as fast as possible. So this is something that you're not going to see in the Limited model. It's only available in the LE. And I'm sure in the 2026 model, you'll have a dual zone climate control. So that's going to be standard, I'm sure. But let's wait and see. But as I mentioned before, you do have a key here. You do not have a push button start. If you want to push button start, you have to go up to at least the XLE and the RAV4, and then you pick up your push button start. You do have your wireless Apple CarPlay, by the way. That is going to be standard. So wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that's going to be standard, whether or not you go with the LE model or the Limited model, and anywhere in between. So you will see that. So looking at the seats here, you do have a fabric seat here. So as I mentioned before, so no power seats on the passenger, no power seats on the driver. And you get a vinyl wrap steering wheel here, so no leather or anything like that. So it's very base, guys. So looking in the second row in both models, you will have vents in the second row, so it's going to keep those passengers in the back cool. Now, as I mentioned before, so common theme, you're going to see fabric there, and both models you can actually fold down in the 60-40 split. So both models have that particular feature, and you have your government mandated anchors and your tethers on the back side of the seat as well. Now looking around here to the back, so no sensors, as I mentioned before. You want those sensors, you're gonna have to go up to the Limited model as standard, but you can get those in the XLE Premium with a tech package with a few other options. So you can get an LE front wheel drive, or you can get an LE all-wheel drive. So that's something that you're gonna see. So you'll be able to get that on the hybrid models, which is in 2026 as well. So you'll be able to get a front wheel drive hybrid and a all-wheel drive hybrid. That is the first time that Toyota has ever offered that in the RAV4. So no power back door. So same look in the back. You even have your privacy cover. And all RAV4s, whether or not you go with an LE or a Limited model, they're gonna have a full-size spare. Why? It's because you keep your vehicle stability control. You don't have to disable that simply because you go to a donut, which Toyota does not. So we have a full-size diameter spare. Therefore, you keep your safety. As I mentioned before, guys, you do not have a moonroof option in the LE model. You can get one at the market, but factory, it is not offered, guys. So that is not something that you're going to see in the LE RAV4, whether or not you go with a gas model or the hybrid. So both models are going to have a 2.5 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that's going to offer you 203 horsepower in those models, and you're going to get about 30 miles combined on both models, whether or not you go with the LE model or you're going to go with the Limited. So if you want to up that gas mileage, you want to up that horsepower, you're going to have to go with the hybrid, and that's going to offer you 219 net horsepower, and that's going to give you 40 miles combined. So whether or not you go with the LE model or you go with the Limited model, you can't go wrong with either one. You're going to save a little money on the LE model. That's probably going to start around 33 to 34,000. The Limited is probably going to start around 40 to 41. So if you want a little bit more options, a little bit more safety, you might want to go with the Limited model. That's going to offer you those additional options and additional tech on this particular vehicle. So guys, thanks for joining me in reviewing some of the differences with options and tech on the LE model and on the Limited model. But the next time you go to the dealership, guys, surely you're going to know what you're looking for, and it makes the process a little bit easier for you. But thanks for joining me. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. You can always find me right here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And we'll see you next time right here at Andre Drives.